So this video is to look at the MPanel Production feature to add adjacent marks. And adjacent marks are used in the situation where we're going to sew panels together to where two panels for some reason join, and then they join onto a third panel. These panels might, for instance, be in different colour or different materials, or there may be a seam there for some other reason that we don't know about. It is useful to have a mark taken through the seam process into the output process on this panel to show exactly where the seam between these two panels will join onto this panel. And that's the function of the adjacent marks tool. We need to tell the program in some way which is the main panel, that is the big panel that we want the mark putting on. And we do this in a slightly arbitrary fashion. We just colour, using the display colour, we colour the main panel green. Having done that, we can pick up the panel and the panels that are going to join to it, and the panels that are going to join to it are in approximately the right place that they would join. It doesn't have to be exact, but they can't be kind of on the wrong side of the main panel or anything like that. So they've got to be in approximately the right position. We run the Add Adjacent Marks tool, and I'll delete the old items, and you'll find that on this panel, the main panel, we now have a mark added in on the edge which shows where these two panels will join to exactly on the seams. Quite usefully, we'd like some additional marks which would also join up across to help us when we are sewing these together. And we can do that. I'm just going to go back a few stages to lose that mark. We can do that by, from our main green panel and our two sub panels, saying that we want marks at least every, let's say, 36 inches. So that's the maximum spacing between the marks. Now when we select those and run that tool, delete the old objects, this mark, of course, is where the seam between these two will go, but this mark will exactly line up with this mark and this mark with this mark, etc., all the way up and down. And so that produces marks on the panels that will help with the panel alignment. Now these marks are called adjacent marks, and they are not automatically printed out. They need to be converted during the seam process into ordinary marks, and those are the marks which are printed out on a panel. And we do that by specifying, by just typing in, you can either type in adjacent or you just type in ADJ, and I've done this for the left and right edges, and what that says is instead of using a specified number of marks, just use the adjacent marks which are on there already. So now if I pick those panels up and seam them, I'll lose the old, we'll find that those marks have been converted across into normal seam marks which are output on your plotter or colour system.